And so we're winning. I mean, this is really happening. Mike, I mean, I know I don't usually get you on for over an hour and just talk about one subject, but isn't this the one overarching big subject?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I'm seeing all the signs that the federal government cannot sustain itself much longer. And I think the state governments need to start making serious plans, contingency plans, on moving themselves and their economies forward in the event of a collapse of the federal government. And they need to start looking at issuing their own currencies. They need to make those plans now. They can't wait until the collapse is upon them, because then it's going to be panic and there's going to be chaos. If any state governors listening to this, if you're smart, you will very quietly start making your preparations now for the possibility that you may be in a country without a federal government in the very, very near future.
Yeah. Super analysis, Mike. I want to blitz through some news and take some calls with you. Hell, I'll keep you the whole rest of the hour if you can do it, Mike, or do you have to get back to the TV show?
No, I can stay till the top of the hour.
All right, you're awesome, because I got a host of issues I want to go through. Let's play now the clip of Senator Specter and one of his other minions being booed off the stage as well on other issues of health care. So he says, let's do this fast. We got to ram this through. And his own constituents begin booing. Here's Arlen Specter.
I mean, the turnout today and across, and the interest that's being shown across the country demonstrates how personal and how important health care is to citizens across the country. Largely, I think people's apprehension about this, about what's pending in Congress at this point, is because they're unsure of what's going to wind up happening. It's a matter of trust and whether or not they're being represented in Congress the right way. So my question to you is, when congressmen scoff at the notion of reading legislation because they aren't qualified or they aren't competent to understand it, how can we be confident that those congressmen are competent to re-engineer the entire health care system?
I am not a member of Congress, have never been. Well, that's just a fact. I'm just telling you. My observation is, I have never seen members of Congress work harder on it. It is unacceptable to me for somebody to hours and hours and hours.
That's the Health and Human Services Secretary, Liz Specter.
Read the legislation and tell them to go back and read it.
We do.
It's available.
Hit pause. Here comes Specter. Now, what can they do? They say no one's been allowed to read it. She goes, oh, that sounds reasonable. Make them read it. Because the crowd's going, no, and they look scared. Now, listen to what Specter says, and everybody goes wild. We'll do that after the break, get Mike's take on it. But see, this is why I kept saying We Are Change and 9/11 Truth and all this is so big. As soon as the public saw us, myself going back all these years ago, videotaping my own confrontations, bringing up, once the public learns how to do this, it's over. It's over. So no wonder Bush had people hide with wheelchairs in alleys to run wheelchairs into us and scream, they've attacked my daughter, because they were trying to demonize us, but they've been caught now. So this is so exciting. We'll be right back after this quick break. The people are awakening.
Finally in the news this evening, it's being reported that cyber spies from Russia and China have now penetrated our power grid. Even as energy experts are reporting that each summer we get closer and closer to the limits of our nation's power grid, some say that this summer's demand for electrical power may finally push the grid over its edge, creating a cascade of power outages across the country, putting us all in the dark.
Are you prepared for the next round of storm-related outages or government-created blackouts? Have you ever thought about taking steps to get off the grid and generate your own private supply of electrical power? If so, this will be the most important information you have ever heard. Solar-powered generators are finally available. They have no moving parts to wear out or break and require absolutely no gas whatsoever. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Check out mysolarbackup.com before you lose your power.
All right, here's Arlen Specter coming up, taking the microphone away from Health and Human Services Secretary. And the public doesn't buy his bull for a second. Here it is.
My practice, when you have bill, and we have a lot of them that are 1,000 pages. It's to take my tax staff, and we divide up the bill. We have to make judgments very fast. We give about... is read thoroughly and understood by me before I vote.
Look at them desperately going, we want to euthanize you. We want government to control you. Hammer and sickle. Foreign bankers rule us. Let us rape you more. No. Now, they're now saying that was staged. This giant auditorium, vast majority booing them. It's all staged. Now, do you have the Cornyn being booed? First, let's get Mike's take on this. Mike, this is actually starting to even freak me out. The public is just, I guess once the facade drops, it really drops. I don't think all their Northcom bullying is going to work. What do you say?
No, it isn't. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto made an observation about Americans just before the attack on Pearl Harbor. Said America is a sleeping giant. They're very slow to anger, but once you get them there, watch out. And I think we're there. I think we're really there. I'm listening to these crowds. I have never heard anything like this in my entire lifetime. I think this is definitely the start of the final stage of this government. And again, it's not one policy. It's not one individual. I know Mr. Magic Bullet is up there, and they're fed up with his lies. They're just disaffected with the system as a whole. And they're looking at how badly the government has mismanaged everything. They've already run out of money on the cash for clunkers, and they want to take over health care. And the bottom line is what we wanted for health care was to stop spending money on war and spend that money on Americans. What Obama's plan is, we're still going to pay 50% of everything we make to support the war machine and pay more for health care. That's the deal we have right now.
And the money to the bankers, $23.7 trillion. People now found out the Fed paid banks not to loan to us to keep the economy depressed so they could consolidate. Folks, this is dangerous. This is serious, and the police are delusional and arrogant. The government is, and they think they've got us. And let me tell you, it is going to be one hell of a collision. Let's go ahead and play this clip of Cornyn. See, the media is making it only Democrats getting booed because they want to make it look like the party in power. No, it's everybody getting booed. This is Cornyn coming to a Tea Party he basically organized trying to hijack it. Now, again, this is the libertarians, liberals, and conservatives saying, no, we don't like you, Cornyn. Same thing happened to Rick Perry. Here it is.
As the senator was trying to speak, many were calling him a traitor. Cornyn was the only senator who did not vote on the stimulus plan. He had previously announced that he will be taking a stand against what he thinks is wasteful spending and unprecedented government growth. The senator even had a few words about Governor Sarah Palin's recent resignation announcement.
It's a little hard to know what to make of it. It could be a very shrewd move to allow her to prepare for the 2000.
That was the media spinning it. They were booing him over the Trans-Texas corridor. I think they tried to imply because he didn't vote for the stimulus, they were mad. Like all these libertarians, we want more government. Boy, I tell you, the media. Mike Rivero, your take on this.
Do you remember during the aborted attempt at a coup d'etat in Iran where the corporate media took pictures of a pro-Ahmadinejad rally and they captioned them as anti-Ahmadinejad, and we caught them on it, and BBC was forced to apologize? We're seeing the same thing all over again. They're hearing all this screaming, and they're trying to say, okay, what do we want to portray the American people are against, and we'll put that label on there. And they're completely misrepresenting what all of this anger is about.
Yeah, I may have to replay that because I meant to play a Patriots raw footage and then we play a newscast. But it's kind of good we did because unless I missed that, was the media acting like the Tea Party was mad because they wanted the stimulus?
Something like that. It's almost a joke. It's like they're trying to show the crowds, raise our taxes, raise our taxes. And,
listen to this. One time I've been burning UN flags all week long at different events. It was getting on the news, and a local Democrat shows up, burns an American flag, and they put it on the news with close shots that it was me burning the American flag. when I was burning a UN flag. I mean, that's how deceptive these guys are. Stay there, Mike. I want to get into the other issue of police framing people and take phone calls on a host of issues like the CPS wants cameras in everybody's homes, period. You got a baby? We're going to watch you with a camera. It's George Orwell on steroids. It's all coming up straight ahead. And Rob Dew's got the name of that TV station that banned the Obama deception.